Finally, a real travel vlog from China was released by a mainstream YouTuber. And in this video, I'm going to talk about that. And of course, highly recommend that video to you as well. As an American who first came to China in 2007, then left for a while, but ultimately came back and has now spent a total of 12 years here, I have to say that it's a travesty what has happened to China vlogging. Back in the day, we're talking like pre-2015, people could vlog pretty freely and make real content about China. Then everything shifted toward being propaganda videos, and even some of your favorite travel vloggers like Bald and Bankrupt, Small Brained American, Mike OK, Drew Binsky, and on and on and on, have all sold out and jumped on the China propaganda train. More on that in a minute. I watched a video from a vlogger named Spanian or Spanian. I'm not sure which one it is yesterday. I'm just going to call him Spanian. And wow, what a breath of fresh air to finally step out and make some real China travel content. Spanian is a vlogger out of Australia. I don't know much about him as I've only seen a couple of his videos, but as far as I know, he's had somewhat of a rough background and turned his life around. Now he has a huge following of over 1.2 million subscribers, and he travels the world making videos documenting his experiences. In a way, what he's doing is kind of similar to what I'm doing, except a lot more people watch his videos, which good for him. The video of his that I'm referring to here is the one titled, "I Went into the Slums of Wuhan, China's Most Infamous City." Now there's a juicy title, right? Usually what we see are YouTubers who are happy to travel to places around the world and make very critical, even mocking pieces about places they visit. They try to find the worst, most shocking areas, and then they paint a very bad, broad stroke image of that country. I mean, poor India. It has been shit on by these guys for ages now. And I have to add, very unfairly, because I went to India not that long ago and I had a great time. But then they go to China and suddenly they kind of change their style a little bit. And suddenly they focus solely on the good aspects or stick to the talking points that China wants them to push. In other words, they glaze China. That's what they love to do. Where did all of their courage go, I wonder? China has had a history of reaching out to creators and inviting them over to make shill pieces and fluff videos, helping to fund their travels and offer them some other perks for their services. I mean, we even saw it with that uber famous iShows Speed dude. He came to China and shilled hard. It was the usual thing. Come to China, usually Chongqing, Shanghai, or Shenzhen, visit some robot factories, showcase their high-speed railway, rave about the food, showcase the EVs, and, of course, just generally talk about how awesome China is while crapping on the West. The same old tired playbook. I've seen it so much from so many opportunistic, spineless YouTubers that I generally don't even watch travel vlogs anymore. Hey guys, quick interruption. If you are here watching my video, there's a high likelihood that you have an interest in China. Well, personally, I think it's important that we all learn a foreign language, and I want to suggest choosing Chinese as your foreign language. First of all, by studying the Chinese language, you will really start to understand China on a much deeper level. Also, Chinese is the second most widely spoken language in the world, with over 1 billion Chinese speakers worldwide. People say that learning Chinese is so difficult, and let's be frank, in some ways it is, but it's not nearly as tough as you think, and the grammar is super easy. I want to encourage you to check out my channel sponsor, Excel Mandarin, and take advantage of their free trial lesson offer. You have nothing to lose and potentially a lot to gain. Excel Mandarin has bilingual native Chinese speakers based in the US who can teach you real Chinese, and they have the ability to take you from beginner all the way up to fluency. They offer 24/7 support, and they have all of the resources available that you could ever want. I learned Chinese by fumbling my way around on the streets of China. It was a really fun and interesting way to learn, but it wasn't very efficient. If I'd had a native speaker guiding me and helping me along the way, I would have learned a lot more, a lot faster. So check them out today, sign up for a free trial lesson, and make sure not to forget the most important part. Be sure to tell them that Mr. Chopsticks sent you. Okay, now back to the video. And that's a genre that I used to really like. I've lost respect for the whole lot of them. Well, except for Sabbatical. He seems to keep things interesting and honest. I like that guy. So anyway, back to this video by Spanian. To be totally honest, I saw that Spanian came to China before and made some similar videos to the aforementioned sellouts, so I had already counted him out too. But his videos didn't reek of the blatant propaganda like guys like Baldwin Bankrupt and Drew Binsky and Mike O'Kays did. But even with that said, it seemed that he was going to follow the same playbook. And then a new video popped up in my feed. He went to the slums of Wuhan. Now that got my attention. That's definitely not in the shill playbook or on the state approved script. So I watched it, all 55 minutes of it, except for like 3 minutes where he filmed a lady making Chinese wraps on the side of the road, simply because I've seen that a million times with my own eyes. Spanian is quick to point out that he loves China and that this video was not some sort of anti-China video. He felt the need to do that because he at least understands one thing about China. If you are critical of them in any way, or point out anything that they don't approve of, they'll call you anti-China. They've done that to me a million times. They'll do that to anybody. And I know for me, I'm certainly not anti-China. I'm not anti-anywhere. I just like authentic content, not curated propaganda pieces by greedy cowards. If I'm going to watch some travel videos, I want to see the real thing, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't want to see some advertisement for the country being packaged and sold to me as some sort of authentic travel video. And if you're doing that kind of stuff, then shame on you. So Spanian knew that he needed to put that on the record to say how much he loves China. In another country, he wouldn't have felt the need to put that disclaimer out there, but he knows how China rolls. He went on in his disclaimer to say something to attempt to pacify the Chinese viewers. He made the statement that he likes China much more than he likes Japan, and he said that anyone who has been to both countries would understand what he's talking about. Well, I've been in China for 12 years and spent nearly 5 years in Japan as well, and I, personally, strongly disagree with him. But being that he has only experienced both countries on a surface level, I can understand what he means. When you get to China for the first time, it feels full of energy, and it's kind of exciting when you first get here. And then the Chinese people, they're more outgoing, and the chaos of China is more stimulating. Japanese people are much more reserved and less likely to reach out to a lone foreign stranger and say, "Hey, foreigner, come over here and drink with us." Chinese are quite outgoing in this way, though it's less and less so nowadays since they've been pushing anti-foreign propaganda out to their citizens at a level not seen in my lifetime. But once you start to learn the language and live there for a while, there's no comparison. The Japanese people are so much more polite and respectful as a whole toward themselves and foreign visitors. I meet tons of friendly Chinese folks. I have a lot of Chinese friends that I care about. They're near and dear to my heart. But I also meet many on a daily basis who have a lot of sarcastic remarks to make. They mock my Chinese speaking, etc. And they're not mocking my speaking in particular. They're just mocking foreigners in general. In Japan, they just don't act like that at all. Spanian, a guy who self-admittedly proclaims to love China and loves it much more than Japan, and if anything is very pro-China, proceeded to make a video about China that will show you more about it in that one single video than watching 100 hours of the propaganda videos out there by some of the creators that I've already mentioned. Now, this is all my personal opinion. I need to say that for legal reasons. Everything I say in this video is simply my opinion, okay? But my opinion is an educated one based on being here for over 12 years, speaking the language, interacting with the Chinese people on a daily basis, and having traveled to well over 100 cities all throughout China. In his video, Spanian walks past the wet market where COVID was said to have started. It has since been blocked off and shut down. It still sits there today, closed. One of the first things he comments on in the video is the air pollution there in Wuhan. We keep hearing about how China is the green leader, how they have defeated air pollution, etc. Well, in Spanian's video, he says that it's by far the most polluted air that he has ever breathed. And he is a man who has traveled far and wide. Listen, guys, here's the truth about air pollution in China. It's still there. Newsflash. They haven't defeated it like small-brained American tried to claim, but it can vary on its severity according to season and location. Some places in China do have relatively clear air, and then some don't. Some have clear air during some seasons, but highly polluted air in others, especially northern cities in the winter. The air quality gets really, really bad up there. In the part of China where I spend most of my time, the air is usually somewhat okay. But in winter, there are times where it looks apocalyptic, and I'm not exaggerating. Check out this photo right here. I took this photo last year. I promise you, you've never seen anything like it. Is it like that every day? No. Today, for example, is a clear summer day with a nice blue sky and fluffy white clouds. But if you come on YouTube or X or wherever and try to say that China has defeated air pollution, you are either honestly ignorant or a damned liar. The air pollution in Wuhan was such that Spanian was coughing and almost choking. He also commented about how almost everywhere he goes in China, he constantly hears people coughing, sneezing, spitting, blowing snot rockets, hawking up oysters, etc. This is true. Spend a couple of days here and you can't help but notice it. In the video, he also made a comment about how during his travels in China, he has noticed that cities either seem to be very impressive or futuristic or sort of left behind. He worded it as some places are living in 2050 and the others are stuck in 1970. Well, what he's seeing is China outside of the big tourist locations that they spend so much on to try to create an image that China is living in the future. That's a very, very small handful of places, folks. But behind the carefully crafted image, there is a whole nother world. There is the world of the true China. Wuhan is a major city. It's the capital of Hubei province. There are somewhere around 14 million people living there. But it's not a major tourist spot, so China's not really going to go all in and try to make it look like a scene out of the future like they do in Chongqing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. And heck, even in those cities, it's only certain pockets that look like that. Watch my videos about Chongqing. It's nothing like what you'd expect from all of these shill videos that you see on social media. So then in the video, just across from the infamous wet market, there was a slum community that he went over to explore. He seemed shocked to think that there could be a neighborhood in China like that. The only reason he was shocked to see it is simply because he hasn't ever really gotten out of the Potemkin-esque facade of the handful of glamoury spots in China. He's finally venturing out, and he's seeing what the other 99% of the country is like. It's not bad. It's fine. I like it just the way it is, and I wish China felt more confident and didn't feel that they need to try to give the world this image that they are so perfect and living in the future. I wish they just had the confidence to just show themselves as they are. I mean, the reality is that no place is perfect. But what China likes to do is they like to try to, portray an image of what they are and hide all the other aspects and areas of their country that don't look like that. And I honestly think that's kind of sad because China has so many awesome places. The coolest places in China to me are not the places that they're pushing like Shanghai and Chongqing. Some of the coolest places are the ones that look a little bit run down, the ones that are kind of gritty. They have a certain charm, a certain energy, they've got personality, they've got character. But you'll rarely see places like that because all you see is the same tired stuff that these shills keep pushing. So I'm not saying anything bad about China here, but China is what it is, and it sure ain't this futuristic place like people are trying to say. So while exploring that slum community, he went on to say that it's the worst he has ever seen, even worse than what he saw in the Philippines. He was actually a bit scared in some areas due to the run-down, decaying, gloomy look. But to be honest, there's nothing to be afraid of there. I mean, it was kind of funny to see him afraid because he's a pretty big dude, and if anything, the people that see him would be afraid of him. No one was going to try to mug him or hurt him. He would have been totally safe. He was totally safe where he was walking around. In fact, the biggest risk that he was facing would be a local reporting him, saying that they thought he was a spy or some nonsense like that. Will Spanian eventually be co-opted and invited to make fluff pieces about China? And if he is offered, would he accept? There's no way to know, but I'm hoping that since he's already doing very well with his channel and other ventures in life, that he would choose integrity over greed and keep it real with his audience. He seems like a good candidate for a guy who would do that. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that's just going to sell out, so I hope that I'm right. His Wuhan video was definitely a sign that he appears to be committed to his craft of making authentic travel videos, which, like I said, is a huge breath of fresh air. If you haven't seen his video, check it out. He's a guy that's fun to watch and listen to. He's passionate about travel, he's entertaining, and the video was well made. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, if you're interested in learning Mandarin, please check out my sponsor, Excel Mandarin. It's much appreciated, and we will catch you all in the next video. 下次再见. Thanks for tuning into today's video. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please make sure to subscribe to the channel because I have a lot of exciting things on the way. So far, we've got videos from China, Japan, South Korea, Cambodia, Thailand, various parts of the US, and of course, a couple series of my Great Appalachian Tour, and much more. Things are only getting started here on the channel, and it's not only my pleasure, but it's also my honor to bring you along for the ride. I want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all of my YouTube and Patreon supporters, regardless of what tier you are in. I genuinely appreciate all of you. I do want to give an extra special acknowledgement to my PSHO tier members who go above and beyond in their contributions to this channel. Thank you guys. And then last but not least, I want to give a big shout out to my top tier supporters. Lee, Martin S., David is Dawe, and Monster Glow for their extreme kindness and support. With this kind of support, there's a possibility that maybe one of these days I'll be able to commit to doing this full time. Yes, that would mean living on the road and taking you all to places all around the globe and giving you honest, unbiased content from countless locations, most of which tend to be off the beaten path. So with that said, we will see you all in the next video.
What do you look for beyond the sea, grasshopper?